Starting out with lands, we're just running 22 swamps. Very simple mono black land base. We're paying for a lot of creatures with multiple black mana symbols in it. Don't want to get put off of them because we're running a colorless utility land. Moving on to the 1-drop slot, we've got 4 Carnophage, which is a 2/2 for 1 at the beginning of your upkeep. Tap Carnophage unless you pay 1 life. This is fine, just an aggressive 2/2 for 1 is always nice. The fact that you're losing life shouldn't really matter. You're an aggressive deck, you care about their life total more than yours. Then we've got 4 Vampire Lacerator. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life unless an opponent has 10 or less life. It's a 2/2 for 1. So this is the same as Carnophage, except it actually stops paining you later in the game. This is a very good creature. Eventually becomes a 2/2 for 1 with no drawback, which is great. Then we've got, at the 2-drop slot for creatures, we have 4 Dauthi Slayers, which is a 2/2 shadow for 2 black, which attacks each turn if able. So this creature, very evasive, barely anything has shadow in this format. So it's good to just be able to get in for that guaranteed damage. It's unfortunate that it can't block, but it's not that bad. This is an aggressive deck. You're most likely going to be attacking each turn anyway. Moving on, we have 4 Sangoraphage, which is a 3/3 for 2 black at the beginning of your upkeep. Tap Sangoraphage unless you pay 2 life. So this is like Carnophage except at a 3/3 for 2. And it's fine. It comes out against a lot of decks that are going to try to race you, as it really does hurt to be playing this if they can block or if they can burn it or burn you and kill you faster because of it. Then our last 2-drop creature is Wicked Akuba. 2 black for a 2/2 with black. Target player dealt damage by Wicked Akuba this turn loses 1 life. So this is a good creature late in the game if they can't block it for whatever reason. Like you've killed all their creatures. It can finish games a lot faster than you could just by attacking. I only put in 2 of them because it has no evasion, and it has no evasion. It's only a 2/2, and having multiple of them does not help you. So I only want 1 of them anyway. 2 of them is fine. Moving on to our 3-drops, we have 4 Chittering Rats. So Chittering Rats is a 2/2 for 3. When Chittering Rats comes into play, target opponent puts a card from his or her hand on top of his or her library. If your opponent is stuck for land or needs to find an answer, this can delay them for a turn. It's adds 2 devotion for 3 mana. It's a 2/2 that can attack. It's fine. Moving on, we have 4 5-drops. Grey Merchant of Asphodel, which is a 2/4 for 5. When Grey Merchant of Asphodel enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. So this is the big finisher for the deck. This is the card that you try to end games with. It is very efficient at what it does. It's a very staple card in mono black. Whole goal of the deck is to get their life low enough that Grey Merchant, the life swing from Grey Merchant, will be enough to either end the game or make them lose the game. Moving on, we've got 2 7-drops. They are Marshmist Titan. Marshmist Titan is a 4/5 for 7, which costs X less, where X is your devotion to black. So this card is fine against a lot of aggressive decks, but it's very bad against any deck that is also playing big creatures. It doesn't match up well against Fangreen Predator, for instance, or Gurmag Angler, as it only has the 4 power. It can't beat them, they can beat it. So I only put in 2. They come out in sideboarding against decks that are playing Gurmag Angler, but it is fine when it can match up against small aggressive creatures, and it can come out early due to high devotion. Moving on to our non-creatures, we have 2 Duress. This is just to get an idea of what our opponent's doing. It's fine against a lot of prominent strategies. Taking a piece out of combo or an expedition map out of Tron if they draw at turn 2 or whatever is fine. So moving on, we have 2 Chainer's Edict and 2 Guest's Verdict. The split's 2/2 because sometimes you can reach that flashback, that critical 7 mana, and it's great to have an extra removal spell then. On the other hand, instant speed is very nice. The fact that it can cause a player to lose a life is very nice, so Guest's Verdict also is a 2-off. Then we have the premier removal for black, Victim of Night. 2 mana instant, destroy target non-vampire, non-werewolf, non-zombie creature. The notable creature that this doesn't hit is Gurmag Angler, but other than that, it does hit most of the meta, and it's a 2 mana instant speed kill spell, which is very nice. What more can you ask for? Moving on to the sideboard, there are 4 Choking Sands, which destroy target non-swimp land if that land was a non-basic Choking Sands deals 2 damage to that land's controller. This is clearly for Tron, but it can also come in against anybody who's running a low land total or important lands. So decks with Fertile Ground, stuff like that, Choking Sands is great against. Then we've got 4 Complete Disregard. This is mostly for dredge creatures or creatures which want to be in the graveyard. Exiling them, getting them out of the way is always great. This comes in for Stinkweed Imp, cards like that. We've got 2 Deadweight, which is Enchanted Creature gets 2/2/2 for 1 mana. So this is a 1 mana kill spell against a lot of decks. It kills Delver, which is nice. So I just bring it in against any deck where I think there are creatures that get hit by it. We got the last 2 Duress for combo decks, or any deck that I need to take cards out of their hand. And then we have 3 Nihil Spell Bombs for anybody trying to do broken things with their graveyard. This is a great card, it cycles, so it's fine.